resistance.
The Laura Ingraham Show is back on AM 1680, The Answer.
Clintons and the Obamas, the resistance resides among the Bushes.
Listen to America's #1 female conservative talk show host, Laura Ingraham. Weekdays noon to 3.
AM 1680, The Answer.
Every day, Poverello House serves 1,600 meals to homeless men and women and families in Fresno County. That's equivalent to one meal for each person at a sold-out Save Mart Center concert. And we've been doing it all with a warehouse and operations center that has seen much better days. Hello, this is Cruz Avila, Executive Director for the Poverello House. Help us raise the roof and fund the construction of a new fully insulated warehouse at Poverello. Together, let's build something that will have a profound impact on our community. Donate today by visiting www.poverellohouse.org or call us at 498-6988.
From AM 1680, The Answer, this is Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza, the behind-the-scenes story of the business shakers and movers in the Valley and beyond. And now, here's your host, Lance Cardoza.
Good morning, everybody. It is a chilly morning here in the Central Valley and a little frost on the ground. And we just come off the tail of Jim Franklin's show, Pastor Franklin's show, and we're coming into Business Leaders Live. And in studio, I was talking to Jim about, or Pastor Franklin, I was talking to him about our guest. And he knows all about Terry's House and what Terry's House is doing right across the street there from Community Regional Medical Center. And I have the executive director, Christa Short. How are you doing, Christa?
Doing great this morning. Thanks, Lance.
So we were just talking just before we went live on the air here, and Christa was a part of the Business Streets 40 Under 40, which just happened. It was the 2017 class. We just celebrated this last Thursday, and what a great group of honorees. But every year, it always gets a little bit bigger, a little bit better, just all sorts of great honorees. But I'm sure in your class, Christa, that was the best one.
I mean, always, right?
The best
class ever.
Best class ever. So it's great. You see this young talent coming from Central California. And a lot of people say that they grow up here and they leave, and the boomerangs. And there were so many boomerangs that we were celebrating with this last Thursday night. And a lot of people that went to school here at Fresno State, we had them in studio actually, and are great leaders today. They never left the area and are really making a big impact. Talk to me about your history. You didn't come from the area?
You know, I am a self-proclaimed boomeranger and very happy about it.
Okay.
I am, yeah. Grew up here in Fresno, went to Hoover High School. I have a family with a long history here in Fresno. My parents own Bulldog Alarm Company.
Okay.
So it really, I think like any young person, it's get the heck out of here and never look back. And I think for me it was, let me go away for a while and learn some new skills and maybe visit the beach quite a bit and then come back to Fresno and join the family in really just investing back in this community that we love so much.
What drew you back? So a lot of boomerangers, they all have a different reason for coming back. What was your draw?
I had just a personal story, a personal impact that brought me back a lot sooner than I planned on. Okay. I really intended to finish college at UC Santa Barbara. And in the midst of that journey was in a really bad car accident down in Southern California. And so my family got the phone call on a October morning that I was involved in a really bad car accident. They didn't know, what my injuries really were at the time, but that my parents needed to travel down south and to be with me in the hospital, and really in an uncertain situation. They, of course, like any parent, got in the car and you get there as quick as you can. And the extent of my injuries was pretty severe at the time. So they spent some time down in Southern California in a hotel while I was in the hospital so that they could be there with me through my recovery and my journey. And that brought me back to Fresno. And the interesting timing is that at that point, we were getting ready to start talking about this idea of Terry's House, which really mirrored perfectly that same scenario for a lot of our families today. And so when you have that kind of personal connection, it was really easy to dive right in.
You were living real life. You were living
Exactly.
what these families go through.
Right.
And your family was experiencing that, living in a hotel.
Yep.
During the time that you were trying to recover.
Yeah, and
Wow.
we're so lucky to have been in a position where my parents could make that journey, and being self-employed had the flexibility to do that, and the support system here to help take care of all the pieces and parts in that time. But a lot of the families that we deal with today really don't have that same opportunity, and they're traveling great distances to support the loved one, and it's really important to have mom or dad or whoever it is that can be there to take care of them.
Well, stay with us live here on Business Leaders Live, because we'll get into Terry's House and we'll talk about what Terry's House does. But you can already guess exactly what Terry's House is. It's helping support families during the time of a crisis or a time when they need to be close to the hospital. They're a community in downtown Fresno. It's a beautiful place right across the street. A lot of people that drive by it every day don't realize sometimes what's happening behind those doors and what need is behind those doors to help some of those families. So when you were going to school, what were you going to school for?
I was actually going to school for business management and pre-law.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so a lot of those skills I learned and certainly have transitioned well into being a business leader today, but have morphed certainly over time as you kind of get into different scenarios and learn different skills along the way.
I think I was first introduced to you from Mary Lisa Russell.
Oh, love Mary
Yeah,
Lisa.
and she's been there with community for years. And I remember when Jack Chubb, CEO at the time,
Right.
we'd go have lunch all the time, and I'd always check in with Mary Lisa. Mary Lisa told me one day, I hosted an event called Heroes in Healthcare, and it's making a big comeback.
It
We're
is.
coming back with Heroes in Healthcare. And it was a great event, Lifetime Achievement Award recipients, and we brought all the community of the medical community all together in one building, and they celebrated one night, sort of the Academy Awards of Heroes in Healthcare. It was a great event, and we're going to be doing that again. But during that time, Mary Lisa Russell told me, hey, there's this young superstar. You got to meet her. And I think that's how you ended up getting in our 40 under 40 during that time. But she said she's young. She's already buying her first home. She's just great. And Mary Lisa, she had nothing but good stuff to say and said, you got to meet her. And I remember we went over and we met. And I think I came over and volunteered to cook. We did spaghetti dinner.
Right.
And, it was just a great time. So it was a great meeting. And you are a go-getter. And so I haven't talked to you in so long. So it's exciting to get back together with you. I'm glad you hit me up on Facebook and said, hey, what are you doing?
Exactly. Got to love that Facebook Live, right? Everybody pay attention to Lance's updates because they're fun, and you always know he's running all over the place, involved in lots of stuff.
All over the place. So, Christa, so then you go to school, and then a tragedy happens. Your family's down there and with you. So at that point, then you come back. So you're a Hoover High grad. You're from Fresno. You sort of hit the reset button. What happens at that point when you come back to Fresno?
I had such a great opportunity to help work with Ashley Swearingen on her mayoral campaign right when I came back to Fresno, and just talk about being so inspired by a woman who just has so much to offer in a leadership capacity to our valley and certainly to Fresno, and I got to just watch that process happen. So that was great, and then I went from there into some marketing and communications type roles, and then off to the Terry's House story.
Right. And so what led you to Terry's House during that time? Because I know at that point, and maybe tell the story, because Terry is a brother of
Tom Richards.
Tom Richards, and the business person here in Fresno. Everybody knows Tom Richards. And if you don't, Christa will give you a little background and how Terry's House got their name and how that came to be. Because I remember at that time they were doing a groundbreaking and there was something all new that was going on. What was it before? There was another house there, was there? Or there wasn't a home? It was offices.
It was offices. It was our marketing and communications department.
Mary Lisa's office.
Where Mary Lisa was.
That's right.
Exactly.
She was there, yeah.
Yeah, and so we came up with the idea and the inspiration for Terry's House and demoed the building there with the hopes that it would kind of encourage folks to pay attention that something was coming and that they would want to be involved in that. And so we kicked off a capital campaign, a $5 million capital campaign at that point, and it was with Tom's leadership that we were able to reach out to so many in the community, including those in the construction trades, so that we were able to not just raise the dollars to build the home, but also raise the in-kind support from folks during really a downturned economy in 2008, 2009.
So it was from the ground up. This was
Exactly.
something wasn't existing before.
Right.
And it was Tom's story with his brother that sort of was his inspiration to be able to get behind this. And then you rallied the troops and started the campaign to help get it to where it is today.
Exactly, yeah. And Tom, his personal connection really comes from a tragedy in his family as a young man. His family was involved in a car accident on a windy mountain road in the middle of winter on the East Coast. And Terry, his younger brother, was hurt very severely in that accident and landed himself in a trauma center about 80 miles from the family's home. And the challenge there, certainly, with it being 80 miles from home, is that Mom Marie had to make sure that she was there on the home front to take care of Tom and his sister Debbie, but also was there for Terry that whole time he was in the hospital. And it was a total of about 5 months. So she, kind of a single mom at the time, drove those 80 miles back and forth every single day for 5 months. And somehow managed to keep it all together. And Tom just really recognized the challenge that was in the midst of all of that, but how, we were able to really impact families to do it differently with Terry's House. And that's why he stepped up and was the first to contribute and then lent himself and his team to really make sure that we were successful.
So you have personal stories, your personal stories, Tom's personal stories, and many personal stories, I'm sure, that got behind it, rallied behind something
Definitely.
that was good, that wanted to make a difference. And I didn't know your personal story, but maybe you mentioned it a long time ago, but I didn't realize it went that deep.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
wow. And when we come back from the break, we're going to take a short break here in a little bit, but I want to talk about what does Terry's House do for the community, and also what are the needs and what's going on, what's the future. And I know there's some exciting stuff we were talking about on Facebook Live.
Perfect.
There's some fun stuff for some fundraising opportunities, and we'll go from there. If you're listening to Business Leaders Live and you want to catch Business Leaders Live every week, we're live at 9 a.m. on Tuesday mornings, and also you can catch any past episode of Business Leaders Live right here on AM 1680 The Answer by going to the website lancecardoza.com. That's LANCECARDOZA, and you can catch past episodes. Christa, short, when we come back, we'll talk about the fundraising campaign you have coming up.
Perfect.
And give me a little taste before we go to break. What type of trips are we talking about?
We're talking about Hawaii, the Daytona 500, and Disney World.
Oh, wow. So you have a chance to participate in winning one of these trips.
Exactly.
So come back here on AM 1680 The Answer. We'll be right back with Kristen Short with Terry's House right here on Business Leaders Live.
This is Adam Wolf with The Upper V Show, the Valley's only word for soccer radio. Come check out Fernando Zepeda and myself from 1 to 3 p.m. live on Saturdays, promoting the Valley's soccer talent with interviews from our area's top players from high school to professionals, including the coaches. Come be a part of the show with live calls from the listeners and the fans of the game at 559-442-1680. Like us on Facebook, The Upper V. Follow us on Twitter at The Upper V Show to find out where we will be broadcasting from live.
At Amazon, we've got millions of toys and games to choose from this holiday. For kids of all ages, from the classics to new ideas to the must-have hits. So, whether you're buying for creative kids, competitive kids, or, well, grown-up kids, visit Amazon for all the toys and games you need and give a little love this holiday. And get free shipping on over 100 million items with eligible orders over $25, only at Amazon.
Give a little bit of my love to you.
There are thousands of different rules in the Social Security Handbook. Are you confident that you know the right ones that apply to you? The wrong decision could be costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars. At Financial Engines, we believe there's no one-size-fits-all answer to claiming Social Security benefits, and that it's important to work with an advisor to understand the pros and cons of delaying benefits and how to avoid the hidden traps that could reduce them. As America's largest independent investment advisor, according to Investment News, Financial Engines offers help to more than 9 million people. We provide objective, personal, and comprehensive planning advice. Get to financialengines.com. We'll connect you with an expert financial advisor in your area who will help create a retirement and Social Security benefits plan so you don't risk leaving anything on the table. So, financialengines.com. Get started today.
This is John Sayers with Financial Engines in Fresno and Visalia. Let's talk about the financial goals that are important to you, and together we'll develop a plan to help make them happen. Call me at 559-434-9800 or visit financialengines.com.
Hey friend, Pat Boone here. For years, I've been warning fellow Americans about the war on cash, such as we saw last year in India, where the government outlawed the use of cash overnight, creating public chaos and hardship. And now, some of our own leaders want to outlaw our $100 and $50 bills right here in the USA. Well, to sort this out, I sat down with a top authority and recorded an interview. It's available now on a free CD or MP3 by calling Swiss America at 800-289-2646, 800-289-2646. I discovered why this war on cash will not end until every dollar that we earn, save, and spend can be tracked by the federal government. I want you to get your free War on Cash CD now and discover which assets still offer privacy and growth potential. Get your free War on Cash CD now, will you? 800-289-2646, 800-289-2646. 2646.
Hello, television viewers in the San Joaquin Valley. Remember the good old days of live TV when anything could happen? Remember the best music of yesteryear like Count Basie, Tommy Dorsey, and Harry James? Remember those old-time TV programs like The Jack Benny Show, Burns and Allen, and The Bob Cummings Show? Mix it all up with live in-studio guests and taking phone calls from viewers just like you. What do you have? You have a show like no other in the country each week on KGMC Channel 43.5, Antenna TV, and Comcast Cable Channel 378. Tune your television sets at 7 p.m. every Saturday night for 6 hours of entertainment on the Flying Home with Ronnie Paul show. It's Flying Home with Ronnie Paul each Saturday night from 7 p.m. till 1 a.m. on KGMC Channel 43.5 and Comcast Cable 378.
Giving you the inside story of business leaders in the Valley and beyond. This is Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza.
Hello, everybody. We're back with Business Leaders Live in studio from Terry's house. Is Christa Short. Christa, you were talking to us about how you got your start. It's almost like baptism by fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going to school down in Southern California, and you in a tragic accident. Your parents are traveling down there, staying in a hotel to be right there with you, and that's really what Terry's house became. It was from other families' stories that all came together. For Tom Richards, a well-known businessman here in the Valley, had the same problem with his brother.
Right.
Where mother was traveling 80 miles, you were saying, back and forth. So he was watching his mother go through this.
Exactly.
So the life experiences created what Terry's House is today. And tell people, our listeners here on AM 1680 The Answer, what Terry's House is all about, and what does Terry's House provide to families?
Right. So Terry's House is just such an inspiring story about taking your personal experience and Tom's personal experience and my personal experience and all of the donors that stepped up to help make Terry's House possible. They either had a personal experience or a story that really led them to be inspired to join the mission. But we are there right across the street from the hospital, primarily to support families that have a loved one in critical care. And when I say support, it's so much bigger than just having a physical place for them to come and call home every day while their loved one's in the hospital. It's about the emotional support and the spiritual support and everything that it takes to really become the calm in this storm that they're right in the midst of. And medical crisis is just so scary and uncertain. And there's so much fear that's wrapped up into the equation that really our job is to just be that soft landing place every single day where they can, be refreshed and recharged so that really they can provide the best support and care for their loved one who's recovering in the hospital.
And so they're right across the street. So if a doctor calls or if there's a call from the hospital, they need to get there right away. Or just checking on their loved one. They're right there and they have the comforts of home.
Yes, and I've tested it. It is a 2-minute walk from door to door in high heels.
High heels.
You can get there quicker if you need to.
I'm sure you've done that walk many a time. I think I've actually seen you going across the crosswalk, zipping back and forth. So in the families, there's a lot of need in putting together Terry's House, I'm sure. Not only in a monetary support, but also in volunteers, I'm sure, to run that home.
Right.
How many beds? How many rooms? And, because it's very large.
We're a big place, and so you drive by and there's this big, beautiful greenhouse on the corner of Fresno and R Street, but it's so much larger and bigger once you get through those front doors. And I say that not just because of the 17,000 square feet that we operate, but because of the love and the hands that are available to care for these families. We have 20 guest rooms, so on any given night we might have somewhere between probably 40 and 60 family members staying with us.
Okay.
And a whole host of volunteers that come and do everything from helping with our day-to-day operations to providing meals for these families to being there and available for spiritual chaplain-like support. Really, it's just a built-in family that's there because these folks don't have their family there to support them while they're supporting their loved one across the street. So we try and fill in all of those gaps.
So it takes probably a very strong internal, I don't know what you would say. You've experienced this with your family, so you know how it feels. So you have compassion.
Right.
But as the executive director, you see so many families through the years that have dealt with real trying times. Mm-hmm. And it still pulls on your heart. I can tell you're getting glassy-eyed. So How do you deal with that? That's a hard one.
Yeah, it's a hard one. And, I think, Lance, it doesn't get easier. I'll say that much. Any day they're walking into the house is just such a reminder of how much we have to be grateful for.
Yeah.
And to know that walking through those doors, you have an opportunity at any moment to make a lifelong impact on a family member. And it's not just... It's not just to take it lighthearted when you say good morning, but to know that when you say good morning to this person, it might be the only good morning or good afternoon that they're going to get today, because so much of it's focused on that patient across the street, and they're just there to do anything and everything possible, through prayer and physical support and acting as an advocate for that patient. Everything is a big deal. And so we really have to be careful about every word that comes out of our mouth and everything that we do, and any way that we can go above and beyond to serve these families. It's a great responsibility. So I think not only does it not get easier, but the job gets bigger every day and the impact gets greater. And those ripples that we have the opportunity to create just go further and further as the days and the years go on.
So talk to me about some of the volunteer positions and needs that the house has. Like I said, I went and I cooked spaghetti dinner, and I think we came from... people know me from Lucha Extreme, the television show. Right. So some people know me from that. So we have professional wrestlers, the Lucha stars of Lucha Extreme. They came and I think they cooked spaghetti dinner one time. So I know there's those needs as groups can come and do that. But what other needs do you have there at Terry's house?
Right. I was going to say anything from professional wrestlers to Girl Scouts and families in between.
I don't know who's tougher. Maybe the Girl Scouts.
It's a good challenge. But we've had, just a whole host of different walks of life that have come through our doors and are just there to serve our families, whatever it is that we need. And that's been one of the greatest blessings of Terry's house, is how many people have just poured out their support to say, what is it that I can do that's going to meet those families' needs best? And our hosted meal program certainly is a big deal for us. It's the bread and butter of what we do. And it gives us an opportunity to come in through volunteer support and funding to be able to provide these families a warm dinner at the end of a really long day. And you have no idea how we take for granted being able to have, sit down at the dinner table every night with your family. These families just are so exhausted and overwhelmed every day. So to not have to think about eating, or in some cases for us to remind them that they need to eat. That they need to focus on themselves and stay healthy so that they can continue to do that for the patient. We also have something we call Service Saturdays. So having larger groups of volunteers that come in, and whether it's 2 or 3 individuals signing up, or a big group, a Rotary Club, a Girl Scout troop, they can come in and help us with some of those deep cleaning needs and outdoor cleaning needs, kind of like a spring cleaning scenario. But because the house is so busy and big, we're doing that on a weekly basis. Helping us sell raffle tickets,
and that's
helping
on
us
Saturdays.
fundraise.
So if you have a group that wants to come help,
exactly.
And what do they call that when they call you?
It's called Service Saturdays.
Service Saturdays.
So Facebook, we post often on there. terryshousefresno.com. We put updates on what's going on and some of the new opportunities there as well. And then really you can have a service Saturday on a Wednesday, whatever day it is that somebody's available and has the time. We always have the need. So there's definitely help, whether it's an administrative capacity or just being hands on deck to help in the kitchen and help in the, linen room and turnover guest rooms and all of those things. So there's definitely always something available. So just by calling our main line, we can help people kind of figure out what it is that they want to do to help serve.
And what's that number where they can call?
That's 459-7200.
459-7200.
Perfect.
They can call Terry's house and be able to get their group to come down to donate time, services, Service Saturday, or cook dinner, breakfast, lunch. I'm sure you serve all the meals.
Right.
And just come down and support and help out what Terry's house is doing. And so in studio right now, I have the executive director of Terry's house, Christa Short, right here on Business Leaders Live. And before the break, we talked a little bit about the prizes. We didn't even get to that for the fundraising opportunity.
So exciting.
So when we come back, I promise you we're going to get to that and find out how you can support Terry's house and their continued effort and what they're doing there downtown Fresno across from Community Regional Medical Center. So come back right here on Business Leaders Live. There's more to come with Christa Short right here on AM 1680 The Answer. And don't forget, get past episodes of Business Leaders Live at lancecardoza.com.
little smarter.
What you've been talking about rings rife through this area.
And a lot more informed.
As a black man in America, I'm a survivor.
It's Jim Franklin Live.
Just wanted to say I like your show, dude.
Weekday mornings at 8 on AM 1680, The Answer. Get it out your mouth. Get it off your chest.
Russian allegations. Being politically correct.
Jim Franklin Live.
Scandals over the White House.
Weekday mornings at 8 on AM 1680.
The Answer.
Tune in this Wednesday from 9 to 10 a.m. to Frontline Radio with Ben Berquam, your unashamed, unafraid political evangelist, exposing the left and mobilizing the right to stand in the Central Valley, across the state of California, and around the country. Christ, family, country. It's live, it's local, it's Frontline Radio with Ben Berquam on AM 1680, The Answer. Brought to you in part by Joe Sears, standing up for what's right in America.
Hello, everybody. This is Lance Cardoza right here on AM 1680 The Answer. Every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m., I bring you Business Leaders Live. This week on Business Leaders Live, we have the Executive Director of Terry's House, Christa Short. Christa Short will be in studio and will be talking to us about what Terry's House does for the families in need while a loved one is there at the hospital, community regional medical centers. That's next week right here on Business Leaders Live.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage, $75 per month level rate for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110 per month, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rate guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote at 1-800-569-5440. That's 1-800-569-5440. You're probably paying more than you should. Call Term Busters, 1-800-569-5440, or visit our website at termbusters.net. Remember, 1-800-569-5440. Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting. Exam required to qualify.
Hello, baby. By popular demand, Dick Delgado's Rhythm Roundup Oldies Show is moving to Sundays from 3 to 5 p.m. All your favorites from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. 2 full hours of the perfect cruising music to wrap up your weekend with the legendary Richard the Lion, Dick Delgado. So grab your hula hoop and slick back your hair for this sentimental trip through the valley. The Rhythm Roundup with Dick Delgado. Sundays 3 to 5 on AM 1680, The Answer.
Want the inside scoop on an area? Locals always know. Want an inside advantage in your job search? Then you rely on a staffing local. We're Spherion, a 65-year workforce leader with a distinct local focus. Just last year, we helped 160,000 individuals find exciting careers. I'm Glenna Gates, and my team knows the Central Valley area well. More than a business, this is our home, and we have connections to the area's most respected companies. Gain a local career advantage and call Spherion at 559-251-4040 or visit us on the web at spherion.com.
At Amazon, we've got millions of toys and games to choose from this holiday. For kids of all ages, from the classics to new ideas to the must-have hits. So, whether you're buying for creative kids, competitive kids, or, well, grown-up kids, visit Amazon for all the toys and games you need and give a little love this holiday. And get free shipping on over 100 million items with eligible orders over $25, only at Amazon.
Give a little bit of my love to you.
You are listening to Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza, the behind-the-scenes story of the business shakers and movers in the Valley and beyond. Once again, here's Lance Cardoza.
Thank you for staying with us right here on Business Leaders Live in studio here at AM 1680 The Answer. I have the Executive Director of Terry's House, Christa Short.
Good morning.
Christa, we've been talking about your story, your personal trials, being involved in an accident, and then coming back to Fresno after going to school, and then how Terry's House came to be. And we talked a little bit about what Terry's House is and what it's doing for the families and a support system for them when they have a loved one in the hospital there at Community Regional Medical Center. But it doesn't operate by itself.
Right.
It needs funding to be able to do what it does. You're doing a great job down there and great group of volunteers that help make it run. But you have some fundraising opportunities that you've created to make it even fun for the people that are supporting Terry's House.
Yeah.
And talk to us about that.
So we are doing lots of neat things. Terry's House is really a special piece of the Community Medical Center's equation in that we are the only part of the whole system that operates on donations alone. So when we talk about fundraising, it really is the blood of this organization. It's what keeps our doors open and really made the house possible from the very beginning. So we've tried to get creative over the years to give people an opportunity not just to get invested and give financially, but to also volunteer and help us to raise dollars. So we do that in a whole host of ways, but one of which we are right in the midst of right now, our annual raffle. And so this is the 6th year that we've been running a raffle that helps us raise about $100,000 towards our annual operating budget. And it's a big piece of the chunk is we cost about $500,000 a year to run the house. And so
operating expense for the home?
to be able to raise $100,000 through this raffle is a big deal for us. So we sell a total of 5,000 tickets. And so people have a pretty good chance to win, which is nice. But we sell those at $20 a piece. And in the last 3 or 4 years, we've been giving away vacations. And they're pretty grand vacations, which is wonderful. But we have a donor who underwrites the cost of those trips every year. So it's 100% that goes back to the house. And this year, our grand prize is a trip for 4 to Disney World. So we're really excited about that.
Very cool.
Prize number 2 is a trip for 2 to Hawaii, and you get to pick your island. So wherever somebody wants to go, I know my favorite is the Big Island, but a lot of people like Maui, and just recently took a trip to Kauai, which was very pretty as well. So whatever they fancy. And then our third prize this year is a VIP experience at the Daytona 500. Yeah, so we're actually wrapping up the vacation raffle this year a little bit early in January, so that they can get to the Daytona 500 this year, and they get to have a VIP experience and go into the pits and the whole bit. So it should be really, really cool for that enthusiast.
So Daytona 500, if you're a big NASCAR fan,
exactly,
then this is for you. You want to be a part of this, but just to do a getaway to Hawaii, what a great trip.
I don't think you can lose with these
You
trips.
can't.
I think
and
anyone,
a family of 4 to Disney World, do you know what that costs?
Right,
You know,
right.
so-
Well, and even if you're a couple of 2 and you need to borrow a few friends, we'll make that happen as well.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
So, and it's $20 to ticket. And when do they draw the ticket? What are the details? How does someone engage in that to help support Terry's House?
Perfect. So in order to buy tickets, you can do it a whole variety of ways. You can get online to terryshousefresno.com. Again, that's terryshousefresno.com. You can call us directly at 459-7200. And you can also get on Facebook, and we've got lots of advertisements on the Terry's House page there.
With the link driving back, and you can order your ticket that way?
Yeah, just get your tickets that way. And then we've got volunteers out in the community that are selling tickets as well. So if you happen to be in any one of the hospitals, we're selling them there in the coffee shops and the cafes. You can come by Terry's House and buy one at our front desk directly as well. And we've got about 100 community medical center employees that are out in the community selling on our behalf as well. So it's a great engagement opportunity for those that are serving patients every day, but also want to give back and help Terry's House. So they're helping us sell tickets this year.
And the website again is terryshousefresno.com.
Perfect. Yep.
And they can go there, and there's a link to be able to get the tickets. And it's the annual, what is the name of it again?
Just
the
our
annual?
Terry's House raffle.
The annual raffle, and you'll be able to do that. And let's talk one more time about those prizes. So you get 4-pack to go to Disney World in Florida. So that's a big one. And what's the details for that?
So they'll be staying right there on I guess the Disney World campus. It
pays for your hotel too.
It pays for your hotel. It pays for your flights, and then your 3-day park hopper passes. So all access to the different parks within Disney World. And it's kind of all inclusive. So they definitely will have a grand experience. And then our second prize is a Hawaiian island of your choice for 2. Same thing there. It'll include hotel, airfare, and you'll have a great kind of experience there in Hawaii, however you decide to create that. And then our third prize is the VIP experience to the Daytona 500.
And it's just a ticket of $20 for a chance to win one of these 3 prizes.
Exactly.
And to help Terry's House and
Right.
what Terry's House is doing. What a great, that's a great fundraiser.
It's a win-win in my mind.
Yeah, only
Right.
5,000 tickets sold.
Yep.
And that's to help with the operating expenses that it takes to run Terry's House. And everything that Terry's House does. What a great fundraising opportunity, an easy one to get involved with. And all you have to do is go to Fresno or Terry's House, Fresno.com.
Perfect.
To be able to be a part of that. And you can sell me a ticket too,
I can
right?
sell you a ticket.
I'm going to buy a ticket.
Awesome.
So it's only $20. I mean, what a great chance to win one of these 3 great events and also support a great organization like Terry's House and what Terry's House is doing. Christa, you're also very involved with the community. And we talked about you were in the 40 under 40. You were very involved then with Leadership Fresno. Yeah. What have you been doing lately with involvement outside the community?
I kind of like Fresno.
Yeah.
So I'm involved with a couple of organizations. Leadership Fresno has had my heart for many, many, many years now. I was a member of Class 27 and immediately jumped on board to help in a board capacity to help continue to plan the program. And now we are in the middle of Class 34. So it's been quite a few years.
Classes.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they're doing great things. And this year's class is focusing on American Union Elementary School, which is with Fresno Unified. They're going to be really investing in that school to help with their STEM programs, their literacy, the Dude Be Nice program, and just pouring the energy of 30 or so individuals into one school to see what a difference they can make for those kids. And when you're out kind of in those rural communities, it's so important to have the extra investment and engagement. And that's what Leadership Fresno is all about. So just a big advocate for that program and have helped quite a bit with the Alumni Association as well. So I'll be on that board and stepping up as chair in a couple of years now. So that's exciting. And then another one that I spend a good amount of time with is Pink, which is philanthropy inspired by the needs of our community. And we'll tell you more when we get back.
Awesome. Very involved with your community. And you, in what you do, you have to be, and you have to believe it. You got to love your community and work hard at it and make a difference. And you're doing that, Christa.
Thank you.
We'll be right back here at Business Leaders Live here at AM 1680, The Answer.
In the future, your home's energy footprint is going to be much smaller than it is today. Energy efficiency and green building programs combined with government incentives and private ingenuity will reduce your energy consumption anywhere from 20 to 40%. Green is good, and it will save you money.
Our family at Donald P. Dick, your locally owned and operated heating and air conditioning company, and proud to be the People's Choice Award winner for the 9th straight year, reminds you to go green and save. Call today for a free estimate.
Donald P. Dick is introducing a whole house approach. Air and duct sealing, attic insulation, hot water pipe insulation. Ideas designed to drive the cost of energy down. Plus, your home could qualify for valuable energy rebates. Call Mr. Cool, Donald P. Dick Heating and Air at 255-1644. They'll show you how to save money by saving energy. For 3 generations in Fresno, it's been Donald P. Dick Heating and Air. Call 255-1644 and let Mr. Cool show you how to drive down the cost of home energy.
Credit products are made by WebBank. Amazon is not a sponsor of this promotion. Other restrictions apply. See website for details.
I was making great progress on building my savings, but then I got hit with an unexpected car repair bill.
Keeping a close eye on my credit score allowed me to buy my first house, but an unexpected medical emergency set me back.
When the unexpected happened, Avant was there to help. If you need to borrow $2,000 to $35,000, try Avant. It's fast, simple, and transparent.
Everything is done online. There are no prepayment fees, and no collateral is required. And you can instantly check your rate with no impact to your credit score.
Over 500,000 customers have experienced the convenience of a loan through Avant. No wonder Avant has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And now, Avant will give you a $50 Amazon.com gift card after your first payment is made on time. To check your rates and to get this special radio offer, go to Avant.com today and enter promo code 8000 when applying. That's AVANT.com, promo code 8000. Go to Avant.com today and enter promo code 8000.
One name, 9 locations, the lowest prices anywhere in the Valley, with the highest quality furniture. It's Serrano's Furniture. The Serrano's Furniture Galleries are family owned and operated right here in Central California for over 30 years, giving you top name brands like Legacy, Parker House, and Klausner. The best prices on America's #1 rated mattresses like Serta, Simmons, and the iComfort Sleep System. Before you buy your furniture online, which comes to your home unassuming, assembled, visit a Serrano's Furniture Gallery near you. Serrano strives to give you exceptional customer service as well as giving you the best price and best value. Serrano's Furniture in Fresno, Visalia, Hanford, Porterville, Madera, Tulare, Bakersfield, Delano, and Dinuba. This is the big one, the largest furniture retailer in the Valley, Serrano's. For monthly specials, visit serranosfurnituregalleries.com.
Driving is unpredictable. Just take it from Carrie. Please don't do this to me. Oh, or Peter.
Go around me, please. Yeah, happy holidays to you too.
Or this family trying to get to Grandma's in time for dinner.
Whoa, what was that?
Oh.
This is Hum. How can I help you?
Oh, hi. We have a flat. Any chance you could send someone out to help?
We have your location and we'll send help your way.
With all the uncertainties on the road, it's nice to know there's Hum by Verizon. Hum is the connected car system that assists and empowers drivers, so you can stay on top of your car's health and get help when trouble arises. It's a smart way to stay informed about your car and keep your family safer on the road. This holiday season, get Hum and get where you're going. Visit hum.com or your local Verizon store for special holiday savings.
Giving you the inside story of business leaders in the Valley and beyond. This is Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back here at AM 1680, The Answer. We're having a good time. Christa Short in here talking about Terry's House. And just before the break, we were talking about fundraising opportunities that Terry's House is doing. They have their annual raffle. And the annual raffle, a trip for four to Walt Disney World. And this is airfare, hotel, also a trip to your favorite island in Hawaii for two. Yep. Same thing, hotel, airfare, and then the Daytona 500 VIP experience. If you're a NASCAR fan, this one's for you.
The way to go.
Yeah, incredible prizes for this annual raffle, and this is all to raise funds for the operating cost of Terry's House. And one of the challenges when starting Terry's House, because you were from the ground up,
right,
from the beginning, working with Tom Richards and other supporters that had similar stories like you and vision and where this was going to go with community regional medical centers, supporting them and the patients there. I'm sure in those first couple of years, you ran through the challenges of running a facility like this, and this is a big facility. What were some of those experiences, and how did you get through it?
Yeah, it really was from the ground up, and we didn't recreate the wheel by any means. These types of facilities have been around since the 1950s. All of us are very familiar with the Ronald McDonald House concept as well. And so we had a good basis and a good grounds of support, even here locally with Ronald McDonald House, to figure out what we kind of needed to look like and feel like and how to run the day-to-day operations. But that certainly evolved quite a bit in that first year. Just really to figure out how we could best support our families. We really figured that people would be certainly traveling from the Central Valley area, maybe from Northern or Southern California, depending on what's going on, and maybe it was a car accident or something that brought them in for the trauma center. But we had no idea how far these families would end up traveling. And so there was a whole host of other challenges that came with not just having a loved one from out of town, but from out of state or out of the country. And the other dynamics that come with traveling that great of a distance. We had language barriers and cultural barriers and things that you really can't figure out how to navigate until they're standing right there in front of you. The great thing about Terry's House is that we're a department of the hospital, and so we have kind of this mothership, if you will, that provides us a lot of additional support. And so whether that's translation services or chaplain support, the care and expertise of our social workers, and really just a whole small city there across the street that's ready and willing to step up when we are faced with something that we don't really know how to deal with. And so there was kind of that safety net or that blanket, if you will, that gave us a little bit of peace in making some of those decisions. But really it was the thought process of our administration to be whatever it was we needed to be. And so they gave us a lot of autonomy and flexibility when we were looking at staffing models and the best way to use our vendor support or our contracts and how to be most cost effective. And we really just got to kind of figure it out. Yeah. And so, you might stub your toe here and there, but it wasn't ever that you were going to, it wasn't a sink or swim scenario. It was, let's just put the floaties on and figure it out.
Put the floaties on and figure it out. And completely funded by the organization Terry's House. So
Right.
you get the support services from Community Regional Medical Center.
Exactly.
And which are direly needed. But it's funded and operated by fundraising opportunities that you create and funding opportunities. And one of them is this annual raffle that's coming up. And when is the drawing for the annual raffle? So when someone goes to terryshousefresno.com and they get their ticket for $20 to win one of these 3 great prizes, to Disney World, to Hawaii, to the Daytona 500, these 3 prizes, when is that drawing for that?
So we're excited this year. We're actually going to celebrate the 7th anniversary of Terry's House on January 11th with this drawing. So that's kind of a fun way to just recognize how many years we've been in operations, but also to make it exciting with 3 very happy people on January 11th this coming year.
Awesome. And do you need to be present to win?
You don't. We are actually going to do a live drawing. We're going to do a Facebook Live, and then we're going to post it right to the Terry's House Fresno website, probably about noon on that day on January 11th. So people will be able to either log on Facebook or on the web and be able to see who the winners are.
Awesome. Very cool. And that'll be in a big raffle
big raffle
wheel.
drum, exactly.
Oh, yeah, the drum. You roll it. Very fun.
It'll be my workout for the day.
So you were talking before the break. We're also talking about being involved with your community and being connected to your community.
Right.
And you were talking about what you're doing with Leadership Fresno and on the alumni board, and then another organization that's very near and dear to your heart. And tell us a little bit about that organization.
Yeah, so I've been now with Pink for, probably about 4 years. And Pink was started years ago by a just great gal, another leader in the community, Annie Domingos. And Pink stands for Philanthropy Inspired by the Needs of Our Community. So it's PINC. And we really exist to fund and help provide support for a different nonprofit every year. So it's kind of a cool concept. It's 40 or so young gals that are just interested and involved in the community in different ways. And we come together every year to put on a big event. And we pick a different nonprofit to benefit. And it's been over the years anywhere from, $50,000 to $80,000 that we're able to raise in one night. And it's just a really great party, to be honest. Everybody comes together with the right mindset that we're there to support a nonprofit, but we don't forget about having a good time.
Good deal. And that's Pink. And if someone wants to get involved with that organization or with Leadership Fresno, how do they do that?
So either one, I always just call people to Facebook. It's great to be able to just easily sign on there and search PINC, and you'll see Pink Fresno pop up. That's a great way to get some initial information, or pinkfresno.com. You can also check us out there and learn a little bit more about some of the beneficiaries and the party information. That party is on June 2nd of 2018. And same thing for Leadership Fresno. It is a program of the Fresno Chamber of Commerce. So you can go either to Facebook and check out Leadership Fresno there, or you can go online to the Fresno Chamber and check out our information there, and it'll show you all the past class members. We have a really neat alumni system, kind of like 40 Under 40. So lots of mover and shakers that have been in that program and have become
a lot of
connected.
Crossover too.
And a lot of crossover.
Yeah, with
exactly.
Leadership Fresno that were in we got to get some. I'm sure people from Pink organization also have been in the 40 Under 40 as well.
I'll be making my nominations next year.
Yeah, so January 1st, you go to 40u40.com. You can make your nominations for the classes 2018. So that's coming up shortly. Thank you for being on the program. We're gonna go take a break here, and we're going into our final break. But this is an exciting part. A lot of people like to listen to the tail end of Business Leaders Live because they find out something new about our guests, and maybe this is something that someone doesn't know about Kristen Short with Terry's House, and been having a great time here on AM 1680, The Answer with Kristen. But tell us a little bit of something about you that someone maybe doesn't know. And this is a way to connect, is how I look at it. So when we come back, we'll be back with Business Leaders Live, and we're wrapping up here with Kristen Short with Terry's House. We'll be right back.
Thinking about what that is.
At an early age, I lost a brother due to a heroin overdose. I was the cause of that overdose, and to cover it up, I turned to alcohol. I did blame myself.
People become homeless for many reasons. At the Fresno Rescue Mission, men and women find hope. Just like Michael, they discover common ground.
Some of the young men that are there in the program with me, I feel like they're the sons that I never had. We have a lot of the same goals, even though we come from different backgrounds.
You can make a difference today in the life of a man, woman, or child for just $1.76, the cost of a warm, nutritious meal. You can help someone find hope and real answers to cope with their pain. To make your donation, call the Fresno Rescue Mission at 268-0839 or go online to fresnorm.org. Together, we are changing lives.
Without God helping me along that way and getting me back to where I should have been all along, it wouldn't have been possible. So it was a blessing for me.
You're part of a growing business. You need to hire, but not just any candidates. You need the right candidates. You need powerful tools to find the right fit for the job, and you need tools that are easy to use. That's where Indeed.com comes in. Indeed's advanced algorithm uses the specific details from your job listing to position your job post where more relevant candidates will find it. The right candidates. Screener questions help you zero in on the best talent, while sort and filter tools keep your recruitment organized. It's no surprise an independent study shows there are 5 times more hires made through Indeed than any other job site, more hires than the rest combined. And right now we're giving new users a $50 credit to post a sponsored job, boosting your listing in relevant search results and helping you find qualified candidates faster. Claim your $50 credit at Indeed.com/credit. That's Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
You are listening to Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza, the behind-the-scenes story of the business shakers and movers in the Valley and beyond. Once again, here's Lance Cardoza.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for staying with us here on Business Leaders Live. We're in the studio with Christa Short with Terry's House. This is the part of the show that we always ask our guests to tell us a little bit about themselves that someone probably doesn't know about you. And Kristen, what is your thing? What is something that someone doesn't know about Christa Short?
Well, I'll start with a little sarcasm. It could be something really entertaining, like I love to travel, or I like wine, or I'm a culinary genius. But I'm going to go with just an interesting habit that I have that hopefully will make people chuckle, and it's that at least 3 to 4 days a week, I have White Castle cheeseburgers for breakfast.
White Castle cheeseburgers? Like you get on a plane and you go to the White Castle? How does this
I wish
work?
that'd be a pretty expensive breakfast. That would be nice.
We don't have a White Castle around here. How's that work?
We don't. I traveled years ago to the good old South and had White Castle for the first time, visiting hospitality homes and learning more about what it was we were going to do at Terry's House, and just stumbled upon this White Castle that I remember from that stupid movie back in college, and thinking, okay, well, you're here, you might as well try it. And I don't know if it was the nostalgia of being somewhere and just enjoying that trip and that experience so much, or the fact that they're actually quality. I'm pretty sure it's probably the latter, but yeah, now I have this habit. I found them in the grocery store, and there it is. I figure a little bit of protein and a little bit of dairy, and it's a good start to the day.
Yeah, it makes a White Castle, and I'm sure there's a lot of people you have that in common with out there that love White Castle. I used to travel, as I was telling you, with the wrestling all the time,
right.
And they loved White Castle. It was the place late at night as we were going from city to city, and they had to have White Castle. So I was drugged through the mud with White Castle.
I bet. Well, there you go. See, in my past life, I must have been a wrestler.
That's what it was. So if you have that in common, now when you see Christa Short, you can say, hey, I love White Castle. Cody's excited over here, our producer, so he must be a White Castle fan over here. They're going to talk about cooking ideas with White Castle.
See, I really am a culinary genius. I just figured out how to do it in 30 seconds.
You did it. Hey, Kristen, thank you so much for being on Business Leaders Live. And everybody, thank you for joining us here live on AM 1680 The Answer. Make sure you get a part of that annual raffle. Go to terryshousefresno.com. We'll talk to you next week.
Credit products are made by WebBank. Amazon is not a sponsor of this promotion. Other restrictions apply. See website for details.
I was making great progress on building my savings, but then I got hit with an unexpected car repair bill.
Keeping a close eye on my credit score allowed me to buy my first house, but an unexpected medical emergency set me back.
When the unexpected happened, Avant was there to help. If you need to borrow $2,000 to $35,000, try Avant. It's fast, simple, and transparent.
Everything is done online. There are no prepayment fees, and no collateral is required. And you can instantly check your rate with no impact to your credit score.
Over 500,000 customers have experienced the convenience of a loan through Avant. No wonder Avant has an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. And now, Avant will give you a $50 Amazon.com gift card after your first payment is made on time. To check your rates and to get this special radio offer, go to Avant.com today and enter promo code 8000.